Hey there, welcome back to Silver Lining Art. My name is Anish and I'm a watercolor artist. I want to show you how someone like me can make a painting like this. All the way from the inspiration of the painting to developing the composition and making the final piece. Hope you enjoy it. Stories. What makes them? And how are these stories reflected in paintings and art in general? This is sort of the theme I want to explore while I tell you about the inspiration behind this painting and a little bit of the process of how I make paintings in general. So let's talk about this word inspiration. And I think it's once you get to a certain level and you get good at drawing and painting, you can pretty much paint from any photograph. You could be sitting in a basement looking at a bunch of photographs and making paintings, but that is rarely the case with artists because you need something more than just a pretty visual. I think you need to have an experience. You need to have something more immersive, and that is why I think having inspiration is crucial to make art. And this inspiration in this painting specifically comes from my travel in Lisbon in Portugal. Actually, I was not in Lisbon for very long. I was on a scuba diving trip. I was in Madeira Islands in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and I spent 6 days diving all around those islands. And on the way back, I decided to stop for a day and a half in Lisbon before I flew back home and ended my vacation. So it had been quite a while, a few days since I had been around a lot of people since I was out in the ocean diving. But it was nice to be in this city and see this really well organized but chaotic architecture, all these small alleyways. In the old town. I spent all day walking around, and it's a pretty hilly city, so I really had a good time trekking along these narrow streets. And at some point I got to this lookout in the city and had this beautiful view, but my view was so altered by my experience that day of walking through the paths. Instead of seeing the houses, I could see houses, these like neatly organized based on the paths and the roads and the streets below. And that really changed the perspective on how I saw this landscape and the cityscape and how I would want to paint it. There was also this beautiful water in the horizon that I thought was gorgeous, and I had to capture that deep blue color. And of course, there were these beautiful fluffy clouds on top. I knew that to capture everything, I would need a more wider aspect ratio to get everything I wanted and make it look beautiful, or the beauty that I was seeing. And so later that day, I was at the airport waiting for my flight, and I made this quick sketch while waiting at the airport just to capture my ideas before I got tired and didn't have ability to recollect the details that I wanted to capture. And then later I spent some more time thinking about how I want to depict certain elements in the painting and what kind of colors I want to choose, especially now that I was making it in a bigger size. Just planning all of that and then getting down and doing it, just starting with the first house, then the second house, and the third house, and you keep going and going and going. And in the end, you can put these big shapes where I put the clouds and the water in the background. And that really is the reward of this inspirational paintings, because you really cannot let go of the idea. If the inspiration is good and if the inspiration is strong, it forces you to keep painting, and you cannot rest till you have made that piece of art. And now I wonder that the story behind this painting. Does it change the way you look at it? And wouldn't it be nice if you knew the backstory of all art, or do you like to make up the story in your head as you appreciate it? Let me know down in the comments below.